to you people? Okay. Okay, everyone. So welcome to OP1 theory session. I guess we are at unit number 7, Java FX, where we are learning the various graphics related programming. And last lecture, if I'm not wrong, we have discussed about various layout pans. So can anyone list out what are the pans that we have seen last time? Layout pan. I'm using single device, so please unmute yourself and answer. I'm waiting for your reply, guys. Which list out the pans that we learned last time, last lecture. We did two discussion. One was regarding the class shape, and we said the class shape is having the subtype, and from that we can just go ahead with the more shapes implementation in the programming. Fine. And along with that, we discuss about the layout pans. So just list out all the shape class, children of the shape class, and layout. Am I audible? Am I audible, guys? Am I audible? Then answer. I was like, I'm disconnected or what? So kindly answer. So guys, are you guys attentive in the lectures? Like, if you're not answering, it means that you're not attentive. Last lecture, have you paid your attention? Anyways, we started our discussion last time with the layout pans, and we discussed that there are stack pan, flow pan, grid pan, border pan, H box, and V box, right? And along with that, we discussed about the shape class, and we said shape is a base class which defines all the common properties, and we said the fill, stroke, and stroke width are the common properties. And then we said from the shape class, we do have the child class. Various children classes are there, and these children classes are inheriting all the properties of the base class shape. That is, I'm so sorry. It was like to know whether you are I am connected or not. I have attached my mobile to the meeting. So sorry for the inconvenience. So I was talking about shape class, and we said that the common properties, which is base, stroke, and stroke width, and all the method related to it, are directly available in the subclasses of a shape, and subclasses of shape are text, line, circle, rectangle, ellipse, arc, polygon, and polyline classes. And we have seen all the methods, constructors available with all these classes. Yes or no? So this was the discussion of last session. Are you recalling? Now onwards, I request kindly just be attentive. If you are not recalling the things, keep notepad and note down the points whatever we are discussing. Or before lecture, at least see video. Like in the conclusion, also we are revising what we learn. Okay, one more thing regarding your Mid 1 examination. Your Mid 1 examination will have Unit 6 up till Unit 6. So Unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are in the syllabus. Okay, is that clear, everybody? Syllabus of mid-semester examination, though I have posted in the WhatsApp group, but still, again, I'll just give you the thing. Students, PPT is for my reference. It is not for your final exam or mid-exam preparation. PPT is for me so that I cannot forget any point to discuss. But if you are using it for taking a reference, that's fine. But don't rely only on PPT. Find out the other sources. Fine. As I told you, Java T-Point and tutorialspoint.com are the two good resources to learn Java. Still, I'll upload the PPT, but I again suggest do not rely on the PPT. You need to prepare for the examination in a different way. It's not like the class discussion. Still, I'll upload the PPT as soon as I get the time. Like what shared in the Google, what Telegram group? I'm not getting your point, Pujan. I'm not getting the point. What I have to syllabus and all. Okay. Why you? You are not having trust on me? If only I have set the paper with my colleagues, so I'm aware what we have asked. Still, I'll post it if you insist. But up till now, in 13 years, we never did it. But still, I'll email you officially the syllabus if required. Right? Okay. So 2-3 ways we are communicating. So I don't think it will be miscommunicated, because in WhatsApp I dropped, and in class I am saying, in lab also I am saying. So it's like it is disseminated properly, the information. Fine. Okay. So there are 6 units in the syllabus of mid, starting from Unit 1, Introduction to Java and Elementary Programming. Second, Selection and Mathematical Function and Loops. Unit 3, Methods and Arrays. Unit 4, Objects and Classes. Unit 5, Object-Oriented Thinking. And Unit number 6, which is Exception Handling, I/O Abstract Classes and Interfaces. Gaurav, frankly speaking, when it is MCQ, I felt it's the easiest way to have the assessment, and I don't guess I should provide it. But still, if you insist, I again suggest go to Java T-Point, go to Send Foundry, all these websites. You just type like MCQs for Java, and you'll get lots of list from the internet. Right? Even Java T-Point also provides you the assessment. W3 Schools also provides the MCQs for your learning assessment. So you learn and you assess yourself first before giving the mid. Right? I'll not do that. Frankly speaking, I'll not share the MCQs. Okay. But yeah, sample if you're asking, then we have taken quiz 1 already, right? And you have given it, I guess. So that's the sample. Quiz 1 everybody has given, and that's the sample. How we can go with the uh, mid-sem examination. Somebody please inform Nirjar that he is joining with personal ID, so I'm not allowing him. Ask him to join with Marwadi ID. You can inform him in WhatsApp. Okay, so going ahead in the syllabus, unit number 7, Java FX. We are learning about the shapes and other UI related components. Today's discussion is about event-driven programming. What is event? What is event? I'm asking because in the lab programs we did it. I'm asking what is event? What is event? Nirjar, kindly join using Marwadi ID. You are using your personal ID. So leave the meeting, Nirjar. What is event? Anyone? Event is not an object. Yeah, that's fine. In event is not an object. Event is an action performed by the object, right? Event is not at all an object, but you can say event handler is an object, right? But what is event? What is event? We said action performed by. Action performed by. Usually it is by user, right? But to perform that action, we are changing the state of particular object, right? For example, a radio button is there, right? We are changing the state of object, and we know that radio button is an object. First, it is not clicked. When you click it, it's an action, right? The action performed by user to change the state of an object is called an event, right? So when I say event driven programming, right, it means that you are going to write the code. You are going to write the code for the events which are happening on the user side, right? Event driven programming is like the event being performed by the user side. User is doing some click or user is typing some text. All these are called the events, right? So we do have event driven programming. So we are talking about the event driven programming, right? Am I audible, guys? Can somebody acknowledge? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when we run any GUI based program and we know that user is going to use that GUI, right? So user will interact with the software by performing some action, by clicking somewhere or something, right? So the interaction which is being happen will drive the code, right? So we say events Events drive its execution based on those click and everything. So this is called event driven programming, right? So event can be defined as a signal to the program that something is going to happen, right? That's the signal that we are going to give to the program. For example, when we say button click, when we say button is click, we are saying it's like button or mouse pressed or mouse release. All these are the events. So we are giving a signal to the program that something is happen, and based on that we have to do the coding. If you recall, we had a radio button for the color change, right? We click on the red button and text color has changed to red. We click on the orange color and the text color has changed to orange. Fine. So usually events are triggered by an external user action. Whatever action user is performing, we will have such uh, triggered triggered being happen on the software side, right? So mouse click, mouse movement, button click, any keystroke, all these are called the events, right? So when we write the code, when we do the event driven programming, basically we write code to process such events, right? Right? Right. So whatever is happening, the program can choose to respond or either or to ignore that event. So look at the diagram. So as we said that um, event is happening on the button. For example, clicking a button fires an action event, right? So action event is over here. Button is the event source object. Fine. An event itself is an object, but to generate an event, user will perform the action. Fine. So an event is an object. Now we do have the event handler. So there are the three things, which is event source, right? Over here, button click. So button is the event source object, right? And event is something which is happening. So click is an event. So we call it as a button event object. And when button is pressed, what to do, how to process that, right? That is called event handler object. That is being done by event handler object. So there are various events and event source. For example, we can have a button, we have a text field, we have radio button, checkbox, combo box, we have a node scene which is being displayed on your I'm so sorry, on your window, right? Right. So you can have various actions over there. For example, button, when it is pressed, we say it's set on action, right? Right. Sometime you say press enter in the text field. When you press enter key in the text field, if you recall the Google search, what happens in the Google search? What happens in the Google search? You go to the Google and you you do an action, www.google.com. In a text box, you are asking like what is event handling in Java. And you press enter. So when you press enter, it is taking your request to the server, right? It is taking your request to the server. So this is called an action that is in a text box. This is search is a text box, fine. So in the search box, when you press an enter, right, the programming is being done, right? Fine. This is to take you to the next page is in programming from the server side. Fine. So press enter in a text field, right? So source object is text field and users action to press an enter key, right? This is event fired is the action event, right? So we do have action event, mouse event, and a key event, right? So action event is the text field, over it the key press of enter. So on that we have the method set on action, and then we are going ahead. Similar way on the checkbox and radio button, you can just do the coding when radio button is clicked or not clicked. You can do when checkbox is checked or not checked, right? These two are also the action event, and we can have the event registration method that is set on action. Fine. When we have combo box, usually combo box gives you the list of the item, right? And when you select a particular item, right, from the combo box, so that is select a new item as user section, source is combo box, and event type is the action event. And you can again go with the set on action. For the mouse, we have various events such as mouse pressed, mouse released, mouse clicked, mouse entered, mouse exited, mouse moved, and mouse dragged. So if you're doing any of these action over a node or scene, you can have the mouse event, right? And for all these events, we have various methods. When you have mouse pressed, we have set on mouse pressed. When mouse is released, on set on mouse released. Mouse click, set on mouse click. Set on mouse enter, set on mouse exited, set on mouse moved, and set on mouse dragged. These are the methods. Fine. Fine. Similar way, we have key press and key release the user action. When user is pressing a key, or he is releasing a key, or we are typing something on the screen, right? So key typed, key press, and key released, right? Based on that, we can have the source on the node of the scene. So anywhere in the text field or a scene, you can just do that. So we have key event for that, and the methods are set on key pressed, set on key released, and set on key typed. Okay, right? Any doubt, any question up till this? Like any listing you have doubt, then you can ask the query. Anybody? Should I move forward? Should I move forward? Please acknowledge in the chat box. Am I audible, guys? Should I move forward? Okay. So when you are having the event handler, the other name for the event handler is event listener, right? So whenever a handler or event driven programming is being done, you need an object which has to listen the event, right? So we call it as an event listener, or at times we call it as an event handler, right? So when you are doing so, you must register that with your event source object. Fine, you have to must register it with your event source object, and it must be an instance of an appropriate event handling interface. Fine. Fine. And it's not necessary that all the time with all the objects we can have the handler or listener for the events. Fine. So we are saying that not all the event objects can have the event listener or handler for an event, right? So to be an handler, there are two requirements that must be met. That is, first we have to have an registration of the event handler. That's must. Each and every object must register itself in order to be the event handler. For example, when how to register is like this. We can have source dot set on action, right? For example, if you are doing a key press or button press or a mouse press, you have to write source dot set on action and then the handler name, right? If you recall our practical, uh, which was about the mouse release and mouse pressed on the screen, and the circle was changing the color, right? In that, we had our source, which was circle, right? So we said C dot set on action, right? And we had set on key press and set on mouse press and set on mouse release method, which was your event handler, right? So there are certain methods which are there. There are certain methods which are there, and we can just go with those methods. So just let me show you again the code of our practicals so that you can recall or you can connect the discussion with that. So over here, what we did was, just a second, let me use the magnifier. We had a circle and we said when on the pan, right? So stack pan is basically representing our window, entire window of the output, and that is like having the 600 height and width. So we said pan dot set on mouse pressed and set on mouse released, right? When this is happening, this is event, right? Mouse press is an event. And when we said, like, when it is happening, go to the event handler E, right? And what we are doing is we are filling the circle, right? So we said the circle dot set fill color red and circle dot set fill color blue, right? And this we are setting up on the pan, stack pan, fine. So this is what we are discussing in the theory right now, that whenever we have any action event, right, a method has to be set. For example, set on action for button, set on mouse pressed, set on mouse release, set on key press. These all are the methods which are handling the event. Fine, fine, okay. So this is how it works: registering the event handler and event registering the event handler and handling the events. First, user will perform an action. We call it as an event is fire, or sometimes we call it trigger an event. So event triggering or firing an event, both are the similar words. You can use either. In industry, it is used both. We say event triggering or event action or event is fire. Fine. We will have user action, right? And when event is triggered, we'll have some source class, right? So you can invoke a listener. So listener is given as an argument on set on event type, fine, fine, set on event type, and we are doing it over a source. So whatever the UI component we have taken, if for example, in the previous example we have taken a pan, so we said pan dot set on mouse pressed, right? And then the listener was E, event listener was E. So there is an event handler interface which is extending the base class event, right? So this is generic, you can see, right? There is a method called event handler, and we can create an listener. There is a listener class. This is internal Java API. This is there in your Java API, right? So when a mouse is pressed, right, we will have some source, that is pan dot set on mouse pressed, and you are calling a listener. What is listener? So listener is basically a class object and this is the child class of the event handler interface. So event handler interface is the Java API class which is available in the Java packages and library. There is a method which is called handle, which is handling the event. So you see here, this is generic method, right? So we can have all the event handlers over here. So this is an generic source object for generic event E, right? And now the way we have generic, we have specific. For example, a button. So button is a specific source. It's not a generic source. And we are not talking about in general event handling. If it is in general, we'll go with the generic. But now we are sure about the source, so we say button, right? So button is the event source, right? And we have the action event. So if a button is pressed, we will have the user action, that is button pressed. In that case, the source is Java fx.scene.control.button, and we have a method set on action, right? Set on action. So this is going to call your event handler, but you see now the event handler interface, these both are same here, but now we have custom listener class, right? So listener class is the child of the listener. Listener object is the child of listener class over here, and custom listener class is another child of the event handler interface. So event handler interface is parent of both listener class and custom listener class. Fine. So what we'll do, an event listener is an instance of this custom listener class, and when a button is pressed, we will we will register it by invoking button dot. We said btn left dot. If you recall the left and right movement program of a text, we said button left dot set on action, right? And then we had a listener. Do you recall that? Do you recall that? So see here, so here is the event registration button left dot set on action. So event E is right now the registering the event handler, and it is given to the text. So we said that when event is happening, we are registering the event listener and we are doing the text movement, right? That is setting the X direction of the text by getting the existent one and subtracting the 10 pixels from that. Fine. So this is the entire scenario of the internal event handler class. Fine. Is there any question or doubt? Is there any question or doubt? Should I go forward? Fine. So there is a new concept now. We are moving to the next concept. If you all are clear, I got 2-3 yes in the chat. Guys, I guess my mobile is lagging. What you see on the screen? Are you seeing the slide saying the inner class? Kindly acknowledge. I guess yes, it's there. Okay, fine. Okay. So inner class is basically a class which is defined within a scope of the another class, right? So in other words, if we have class within class, we call it as an inner class. Fine. Class within a class is an inner class. Usually, the inner classes are useful for defining the defining the handler classes, and we define the inner class so that if it is used only by its outer class, right? So inner class is like something which is given to the outer class only. Fine. That's why we have class within a class. So you can see here, um, we have over here the first one. which is inner class, which is enlarge listener. So what we are doing is we have taken a button. We have taken a button, and that button, when it is click, we are enlarging the circle pan. Fine. We are enlarging a circle. We are just making the circle size bigger. That's the code. So this is half code for that. We have taken a start method and we said button enlarge. When button to enlarge the circle is clicked, we said dot on action enlarge handler. So what is enlarge handler? Now again, enlarge handler is a inner class, right? It is an inner class and it is being implemented using the event handler. And we know that event handler is an interface. Fine. So this is your own class which you are defining. So this is called inner class example, right? So when button is clicked, button dot enlarge, this is our object, right? What we are doing is we are writing an public void handler action event and we call circle pen dot enlarge. So enlarge is the method which will make the circle size bigger, right? So right now we are very much specific. We are very much specific, and we said when button dot enlarge is clicked, so we said button enlarge dot set action, we are calling the event enlarge method. But at times we are not sure. At times we are not sure what we want to do, or which action we want to go with. At that time we can go with the generic object instead of a specific object, right? So that we can write like this, you can see here. And when the inner class object is not clear that we are going to call which class, we can call it as an anonymous inner class. Anonymous, we know the dictionary meaning, right? Anonymous is a class, is an inner class without a name when somebody is not clear like which action or which class to be attached, and that we will bind runtime, right? That we will be binding the runtime. So that's called event anonymous class when the inner class name is not clear. In that case, we'll write new and directly we'll write event handler. You see here event handler action we specified here in a object creation, right? So we said object and class implements event handler. Instead, directly we'll write new event handler action event, right? And then we are writing the code. So this is called anonymous inner class. This is called anonymous inner class. Fine. Is it clear? Everybody, is it clear? Any doubt, any query? Anyone? Anyone having any doubt, any query? So what we are saying now is we're going to go ahead more with the detailing of registering the handlers and handling the events. So when we said like we are having the anonymous class, uh, at that time we have to treat that inner class with certain properties, certain features, right? It is having certain characteristics, and those characteristics are like your anonymous inner class must always extend a superclass, or it has to implement an interface, right? But it can't be having any explicit extension or implementation clause, right? We can't write directly extends or implements. As you see here, anonymous class, we have not written it directly, implements or extends. Whereas where we have the inner class with the name, at that time we have implements or extends keyword. With the anonymous, we will not have it, right? But it has to implement or extend. That's the characteristics, right? Anonymous inner class must implement all abstract method of the superclass or interface. That is must, right? Because we know that abstract methods are there and those abstract methods need to be always get implemented in the inner child class. So the way we have superclass child class relationship rule, that all the abstract methods of the superclass must be implemented in the child class, similar way we have rule for the outer class and inner class. We said inner class must implement all abstract methods of the superclass and it, or any in the interface. Fine. An anonymous class always uses a no argument constructor from the superclass to create an instance, right? And if it is going to be implemented using an interface, right? At that time, it will have the constructor object. It will have the constructor object. Fine. So this is a special constructor which is there with the interfaces, right? An anonymous inner class is compiled into the class name, that is we have to write outer class dot class. So for example, if you have two different classes, right? Uh, Suppose that outer class is taste and it is having two anonymous inner class, then they have to compiled into the taste 1 and taste 2. You have to compile it both with the name of outer class. Fine. Fine. So this is about handling the registering and handling the events with the help of the inner class and anonymous inner class. Now we are moving ahead with the mouse events. Uh, as I said, we already had that practical where we I'm so sorry, click on a mouse, press and released, and we had a circle change. This is mouse pressed and release event, right? So there are various events which are fired when a mouse is pressed or it is released or a clicked, moved or dragged. We can go with any event, right? We can go with any event as well. If you are using the external mouse or even the laptop is having the right click and left click, right? So if you want to get like which button has been clicked, right or left, right? So we do have the mouse buttons which are there with the mouse, and you can go with the get button method, right? It will return you the mouse button, right? It will indicate which mouse button has been clicked, left or right. Sometimes you want to just go with how many clicks has been happened. This is specifically there with the games. If you recall, like few games are doing that. You have to click and then you will drop you will fire a gun over some object. You will kill a bird or animal or something, right? You will kill an enemy. So at times you want the count which is being happening on the mouse click, and when user is keep on clicking it, sometimes they say you are running out of the cartridge, like gun is not working, you are running out of bomb or something. So that is based on the click count, how many times user has clicked. It get click count will return you an integer number which will give you the total number of mouse click associated with this event. Fine. Get x will give you the x coordinate of your mouse pointer. Get y will give you the y coordinate of your count. Get scene x, where is your mouse in that particular scene, right? Because you see that when we are running an program, our scene is not entire screen. This is a small window, right? So if you want to click here or here, you can also get the x and y for the scene. Okay, so we have get scene x, get scene y, right? We have is alter down, which is like we can just see whether the alter key is pressed along with the mouse or not, right? So is alter down returns the alter key is pressed on the event or not. Is control down will give you whether the control key has been pressed or not, right? Is meta down will give you the meta mouse meta button is pressed or not. There is a button in a mouse which we call the meta button, right? So it gives that. Is shift down will give you whether the shift key is pressed or not, down or not, right? So all these are the Boolean returning method. It will give you true or false if alter, control, meta, or shift key is down. It will give you true. If it is not pressed, not down, then it will give you the false, right? So there are four constant also available with the uh, mouse event, which is primary, second, middle, and none, right? And these are the constants which are representing the which key or which button of the mouse has been pressed. For example, primary is the left button. Usually that's the first button which we press always, so we call it as a primary. Right click of the mouse is always the secondary, right? So we call it as a secondary. Middle one, if you see, few of the mouse are having the middle button also. Few of the mouse are having the middle button also, right? So we call it as the middle button, right? Which is representing your middle button of the mouse. And if none of them, then we can go with the none. Then we can go with the none. Fine. So you can get this. You can get this with the help of get button, right? So you can get this, any of these constant, which button has been clicked. You will have any of these values with the get button based on whatever action user has performed. Fine. So the way we have mouse and button event, we also have the key event, right? We also have the key event, and this is like you can do the event driven programming using based on the key pressed. Key pressed is when you're putting your finger on key and you are pressing it, and when you take your finger up from the key, that is key released. That is key released. Fine. So key event is usually fired like on a node or a scene, right? So this is, as I said, this is scene. Or if you want to go with the like mouse, so this is a node, right? It could be any text box, it could be any text, it could be any object. If you want to go with the node, particular node, and then you want to go with the key press, you can just go with that, right? So there are various key event methods such as get character. This is this will return you which character has pressed along with the key. And if you recall that most of the child educational game, they are using this get character. If you have seen, like there are various games which says that children has to follow like which key has been like they say press H, and kids has to press the H key to learn the alphabets. Excuse me. Right, so that's the get character. Each and every key is having the code associated with that, we know that, right? Each and every key is having the code, so that is for that. Get character will give you the string, which character printed on the screen, but whatever character is printed on a screen is having the unique code. So if you want that code, you can go with the get code, right? Right. Right. And if you want to have the description about the code of that particular key, then you can go with the get text. What get text do? It will return you a string which describes the key code, which is giving you the detailing of the key code of a particular key. So with the key also we have the methods such as is, alter, down, pressed, meta, and shift. I guess this was wrong slide over here where we have seen it. Yeah, right. So these are the key related methods. Is, alter down, is control down, is meta down. That's not with the mouse, I guess. This is not for the mouse, guys. I'm so sorry, because obviously mouse will not look at the key, right? So this is not mouse related. Mouse related events we have is get button, get count, get x, get y, get scene, get scene x, get scene y. These are the mouse related. Okay, and the get buttons with the 4 constants. And when I say key, we have get character, get code, and get text. And is alt down, is control down, is meta down, is shift down. These are the keys for that. So here are some constants which are given with the key code. So as I said, each and every key is having certain code. For example, we have a constant home, and when I say home, the home key is being represent as the control constant control, right? We have and key, right? We have page up, page down, up, down, which is arrows, up, down, left, right, escape, tab, right? So what we have is all the keys which you see on the screen. Can you see the keys on the screen, right? So all these key codes and constants are there defined in the key code class. So in Java, we have a key code class, and this key code class is having various constants. For example, we have home, we have control, shift, backspace, caps, numlock, enter, uh, undefined, that is if the key code is unknown. There are chances sometime like somebody presses something and that code is not there, something unknown, right? um, F1 to F12, 0 to 9, A to Z uppercase and A to Z lowercase, of course. So we'll just go with the A to Z, and when we pressed it with the caps, we do have over here caps also, caps lock key, right? And these are the arrow key, up, down, left, and right. We have escape and we have tab. We have home and page up and page down. So I guess this is mostly control covering all the keys available on our keyboard, right? So that is a class key code, and from that we can use the method get code, and it will give you the constants related to particular key. Fine. So we have get code, get text, get character, get code, and get character of key type event. Fine. Is it clear? Any doubt, any question? So today we'll keep up to this. Next time we'll go with the listener and animation class, right? This time we are keeping up to this. So if you recall today's session, we learn about the key event, mouse event, inner class, registering and handling the key events. Fine. We learn what is event and what is event source. Any doubt, any question in this discussion? Anyone? Anyone having any doubt, any question in this discussion? If you have, you can just ask the query. Guys, kindly acknowledge in the chat window. Okay, fine. Then we'll keep up to this.